Hey everyone, Nux Free here, and today we're back with another episode of TGL Rants. Awesome! So today's episode, I decided to focus on my favorite company of choice, as usual, Nintendo. Now, I would say this is going to be a personal message, like a message from me to Nintendo, but I have to face the facts. My message isn't going to get to Nintendo. They're a very stubborn company, and messages just don't get through the same way. So I'm doing this video more so to share my thoughts with you guys and let me know what I should think, what I think Nintendo should do, but you know, all that good stuff. So as you know, the Wii U isn't selling quite as well. You've got these people who are comparing the Wii U sales to the GameCube sales, and it's not selling well, you know? I mean, it's just the Wii U. I don't understand the problem. I mean, I understand the problem. I obviously know why the thing's doing bad. I mean, you've got bad marketing, lack of games right now, you know, not looking good as to the competition, them ignoring the competition and making it look like the system doesn't want to compete. It just wants to give out games to Nintendo fans. Now, normally, that would not be a problem. I mean, there's nothing wrong with providing fan service to the Nintendo fans. But right now, it doesn't even look like they're catering to the Nintendo fans, is the problem. I mean, not even all the Nintendo fans are on board with the Wii U. I mean, most of them are waiting for either Mario Kart 8, which is not too far from now, by the time I upload this, hopefully, and Super Smash Bros. 4, which is a long way ahead of still. I mean, hopefully we get some games in between that point to hold us off, but Jesus Christ, you've got these huge gaps for major titles for the Wii U. It's no wonder the thing isn't doing well. So people are wondering, why am I doing this video? You know, just to point out more problems and complain? Let me be honest, Nintendo fans. I have been a fan of Nintendo for quite a while, since N64 specifically. And to be honest, let me ask you Nintendo fans something. If you're a die-hard Nintendo fan, all that good stuff. What is the point of saying there is no problem and accepting everything and stuff like that? My problem is with Nintendo fans as a whole, possibly, because right now it's seeming like Nintendo fans just don't care. You have to show some sort of care, honestly. I mean, think about it. For Mario Kart 8, there are some flaws of that game, you know? And if people want to point it out, let them point it out. Stop defending every tiny little thing about the game. I mean, if there are flaws, please for once let people point them out. Think of Sonic Boom, for example. Remember how people got on to me so harshly about Sonic Boom? You've got the people who went overboard with the criticism and all that good stuff. Let me ask you something. If I don't like my favorite character looking like he was on steroids, that's my problem. That's my idea of a flaw. Let them complain about it, possibly. It's their opinion, you know? I understand that some opinions are annoying to people. It's gonna be that way. And heck, I'm probably sounding like a hypocrite because this may go against something I've said in the past. But in all honesty, Nintendo fans, my problem with you guys sometimes is that you don't criticize enough. I've never said that about the fan base. In the past, I've always said, fans, shut up, don't complain as much. But the reason why I did that was back when I was more into the games. I still want to get back more into gameplay and not complain as much. But at the same time, I want my game having the best possible quality and quantity to offer out there. I would like to have online for certain games. Think of a game like Nintendo Land or New Super Mario U. Imagine this, just imagine this. A world where those games had perfect online with this party chat and all this cool stuff. You could communicate with a friend who is across the region, who is across the border or whatever, around the world, any friend, as long as they're on your friends list at the least. You don't have to have internet online play, at least have friend online play so that it eliminates trolls. You can communicate with your friend and you can play the game with them. So that way you don't have to rely on local multiplayer. Let's face it, local multiplayer is slowly kind of not working anymore as much. Think about it. Why do you think I enjoy playing games like TF2, Halo, all that good stuff? Because they have this online play to where you can play with people across the globe. Even if you know that person, you can play with them. Give them this code to the server, meet up on the same server, communicate directly, start a game, join each other's games. Those are the kinds of things that should be in Nintendo games, because those expand the gameplay. Replayability, that is the magic word for this. Replayability. Do you want games that have more replayability and more interesting features to them? Or would you rather stick to local multiplayer? Because do you know how many people have complained that they don't have enough friends, they don't have enough siblings, they don't have all of that. All they have is their Wii U, their one console, but yet they want to play with their friends online and all that stuff like that. I want that for Nintendo, because as a Wii U owner, not just someone on the internet who complains and who doesn't even have a Wii U or 3DS, I mean, I've seen people who don't even have neither console and yet defend everything about those consoles. How are you going to defend the Wii U's problems if you don't know the problems because you don't even own a Wii U? That's the problem I have. Think of the Nintendo movement that I was promoting. Remember the big Nintendo movement that I was promoting? Join the movement, Hashtag Nintendo Redirect. I was promoting that for a reason. It was a movement to try and get Nintendo to step it up. I want Nintendo to do successful. Do you think I am a Sony or Microsoft fanboy? In the past, people have called me that when I did my rants on Nintendo. Am I honestly a Sony and Microsoft fanboy? Think about that for a second. Look on my channel. Is there any video on really a lot of Microsoft or Sony gameplay videos, all that stuff, No, I'm mostly like Sonic, and other than Sonic, which is Sega, everything else is pretty much Nintendo. I don't even own a Sony brand product anymore, really. The only one I ever had in my lifetime was like this PS2, but other than that, I didn't really, know much about Sony. I never really messed with them. Microsoft, I obviously play Halo, and I have an Xbox 360, but, do I really hardcore, like them to the point where I go and buy their next-gen console? Think about that. I didn't buy a PS4. I didn't buy an Xbox One. I bought a Wii U. So, as a customer, as a consumer, I have a right to give out a voice. People say people who've bought the Wii U and stuff like that don't have a right. They kind of do, because we're the consumer. And just look at the sales. The sales speak for themselves. Ever heard of the expression, vote for your wallet? The wallets are saying that Nintendo should modernize, And not for just the sake of Nintendo fans. I'll admit, right now they need to focus on getting Nintendo fans and outside audiences, mostly the Nintendo fans. We don't even have all the Nintendo fans on board with the Wii U yet. This is what I'm trying to say, Nintendo fans. As Nintendo fans, you should have the right to voice these concerns, especially if you went and bought the Wii U. If the Wii U ends up having a fate like, for example, Dreamcast or something like that, it would be horrible, and to which it would not, because Nintendo has plenty of money to continue to support the Wii U and plenty of other consoles pretty much. So, for a fact this console has major potential. It's not like they have to make like Capcom and go the mobile, right? I've heard these rumors that Nintendo wants to lean towards the mobile, right? You don't need to do that. You have the money and power to win this generation. Heck, you have the money to build this PC that could have graphics better than the PS4 and Xbox One. You have the money to do that. Sony is kind of financially hurting, and they have a console that is supporting these powerful graphics, and they're nearly bankrupt. And you're this rich company. You can provide nearly the same console. And I'll admit, it's too late to do that right now with the Wii U. You can easily do that next generation and get better quality out. But Jesus Christ, Nintendo, Know who you are, for crying out loud. That's all I have to say. That's what I have to say for Nintendo. For Nintendo fans, rise those expectations. I want to see more complaining. I'll admit, complaining about everything is kind of annoying. For example, in the past, I said step up and voice for more Earthbound. That's pretty much not going to happen. The creator said, leave the trilogy as it is. I want the trilogy because right now, I can only play one of the games out of the trilogy. I want more Earthbound, but voice that. You want more Earthbound? Voice with both your wallet and your mouth and your mind. Complain more. Give your complaints more. What do you think Nintendo Redirect was? All those people who tried to shoot down Nintendo Redirect. You're going to feel foolish, and then you're going to feel sad when you wonder, why isn't Nintendo doing well in this certain particular area? They're not catering. They're stubborn. This whole go our own path thing is getting annoying. Think of E3 this year. This year for E3, I was praying that they would have a conference. They're not. I don't get to watch their conference on the big screen TV. Granted, I can still live stream, their E3, give my actual reactions. I'm having a big live stream planned for that, but in all honesty, I would have liked them to have a conference so that I can see these live reactions, so that when the new Zelda in glorious HD gets presented, I can hear the crowd go, but no. It's gonna feel like pre-recorded stuff. It's not gonna feel, modern. It's not gonna feel like what times have established on. That's all I have to say for that. Those are my personal thoughts on Nintendo right now. So let me know what you thought of this TGL Rants. Give your voice in the comments below what you think, Do you own a Wii U and 3DS? What are your concerns, and what do you want to see in the future? If so, speak up. That's all I want. Other than that, be sure to leave a like if you're new, subscribe, and that's all I have to say. This has been Nux Free, out. Thank you for watching.